friends, Cherie here. Welcome back to the channel, Gardening at Home with Cherie. It is Friday, August the 1st, and I'm in the garden. I just did a little watering and noticed a couple things I want to share. First of all, I think this leaf pattern on the squash is so beautiful. It's just beautiful. I think I found the proper tag. I think it's a variety of acorn squash. But here is what the early fruit looks like. There's another one here that I hope will get pollinated. I hope that got pollinated. We shall see. And there are more throughout. It's a massive vine. But yeah, I was excited to see that though, to see those fruit. And again, I love looking over in this corner and seeing this leaf pattern. So I wanted to share that. Mostly I'm down here after watering. I saw a couple things I wasn't really planning to harvest. Let's get that slug off of my onion. But I did see a couple of things. So I'm gonna get these two little tomatoes off of this plant. And I saw a squash here that got a little bit bigger than I like. On this plant, and this plant are the same. They are golden zucchini, and I think golden zucchini or early yellow zucchini, something like that. But I like them a little bit smaller than this. And the reason I like them a little bit smaller is, well, we'll see about this size. With that last one that I harvested, it was a little seedy, and I mean, it was still delicious, but I like to harvest them before the seeds. Actually, let me go get my scissors before I ruin that. Okay, I got my scissors and got that off. And so I'm going to take these inside with me right now. And then when I come back out, you can see here, it is time once again to harvest a bunch of chocolate mint. And then I have to continue staking up my tomatoes. I just restake them to the post as they grow, but I know some of them are kind of, leaning over. So I like to keep them up. I don't want any of the part of the tomato plant touching the ground. And so yeah, and I've noticed a bunch of other new squashes coming in. So I'll share those. But let me get these inside. Then I'm gonna do a deep harvest of this chocolate mint bed here, and then do this one again as well. This will be the third large harvest of chocolate mint from this area. And yeah, I'll show you what that looks like. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about the tomatoes that are in this bed here. Okay, friends, it's actually the 2nd now, Saturday, August the 2nd. I did not make it back out yesterday evening, got distracted with the family, so I did not get the mint. So I have the freeze dryer cooling down, and I'm gonna get that mint. But first, I saw on the other side of the garden some squash that I need to harvest. But I also noticed this, and it's funny because I had just gone live and someone asked me about the squash vine borer, and I had said I hadn't seen it yet. And I now see that one plant at least has fallen victim to it, and this squash here. And I noticed that the leaves were limp, but all the squash leaves were limp at that time of day. I figured it was the heat. I had also gotten down in here and was finagling around, pulling some stuff out, and pulling up things that had rooted more into the ground so that I could trellis things. And I noticed that definitely squash vine borer damage here. And you can see here this part of the plant, and you can see here this part of the plant has perked back up, but this part here has not. So I kind of followed it up where it branched out, and I have to think about what I want to do with this. I definitely need to get that out of the ground. I'm going to dig that up. And I think I might sow another seed because this was one of the first. I think I'm going to sow more seeds of this real quick too, because this was one of the first squash to form. And you can see it's already starting to harden up. It's a winter squash. So I might have time to get more of that. Certainly if I put it in the greenhouse. But this other side of it looks fine. And I do have more squash of that same squash setting, lots more blooms. So I think I'm gonna pull that out. I'm gonna pamper this one here, see if I can push out more fruit. But I'm gonna get this area cleaned up. I did go through and inspect then all the other squash. Got a little distracted from doing my mint because I was noticing this. So I started going around inspecting all the squash. And so far, I did see a couple plants that look like there may have been an egg, but it couldn't burrow through. I don't watch these things that closely. I have so many different things growing. So the hope is that if I lose a plant or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, that I still have another 30 that are, gonna be fine. And so, it's always hard to get a really thorough inspection going because I grow so densely, but I also grow densely in hopes that, the plants are better protected. And so, yeah. But we'll see. But I'm going to get inside and harvest the squash that I see, the summer squash. That's ready. All out here, these are all winter squashes. So, all right, let me get in there and get that food, and then I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll get the mint. All right, so to have a peek of what I'm going to harvest, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to harvest, and then I'm going to harvest it. So this is the third of those. I had 3 of these summer squash hanging from here. I showed it in a previous video, or when I went live, I think. And I harvested 2. This one was still a little small, so I'm gonna get her, and that's gonna relieve some of the weight off of this. I accidentally planted this plant here. This should not have been planted in this bed because it is a vining squash and not a bush squash. And I try to only put the bush squash here in the raised beds and have the vining squash along the fence line so I can trellis it. And I just made a mistake. So I have 4 of these, I think. 3 of these, 2 of these, I don't even know because the vines are everywhere. And so I'm just kind of staking them up on the tomato stakes, and they'll just grow along together with the tomatoes. Actually, yeah. And they'll just keep fruiting. I'm just trying to keep them off the ground so that the pests don't get to them, especially to my fruit. So I'm gonna harvest that. Yellow patted pans are just in full production. So I have 1 there to get. This plant doesn't have any ready. There's 1 there that's ready. Then and none on this plant. And then I see 2 on that plant that are ready to get. So I'm gonna get those patted pans. And then this other plant up here doesn't have any ready today either, but that's a good amount. So let me get those. Okay, next I'm gonna get these sriracha jalapeno peppers. Okay, so we'll be back in a few days to get more of the squash. Also, this variety has a lot of baby fruit. So, and it has some that looks like it didn't get pollinated. So, after I get the mint, I will, I need to go around and really do another just quick checkup of the plant. Go ahead and pull this Walla Walla onion here. Let me get this little callaloo and tree weed out of there also. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this. And this squash plant here. And this one. We took fruit off of this one. But we have more coming here and here. So those will get harvested soon. And then these Walla Wallas are kind of getting hidden under these large leaves. But you can see here these three. Oh, and there's a slug snail. Let me get that off of my onion. And then I think I'm going to pull this one here in the middle. And then these two on either side will have some more space to grow. And get this tree weed out of there real quick. This looks like a little weed coming. So hopefully they will get a little bit bigger, and I'll harvest some of those next week. And same thing over here. Let me go ahead and grab this now. As you can see, those are right up on top of each other. So I'm going to pull this one here in the middle. And give her some more space to get bigger. This is a baby one, but she's gonna be good. And these Walla Wallas over here, they're a little crammed up, so I'm gonna get this one here. And I'm gonna get this one here too, because she's kind of bumped up against the post anyway. So. Take those two inside as well. Okay, so let me just double check on the other side, but I don't think there's anything ready. You saw earlier that I got that one yellow squash yesterday and a couple tomatoes. Oh yeah, I did knock off 3 little cherry tomatoes when I was staking up. So I'm gonna take those in there. Nope, there's nothing else over here that I'm gonna get right now. So yeah, I'm gonna get this inside, and then I'm gonna come back out and start to get the mint out of here. All right, friends, so I'm gonna wrap this video up with another harvest. It is August the 7th. So we started this on August the 1st. We're gonna wrap up on August the 7th. I saw a lot more squash, some that I completely missed, didn't even see was growing as I got in to double check my tags and record things. So I'm gonna just give you a quick peek of some of what's going on, because I haven't shared a lot of this in a while. Like, this is a cucumber plant back there, and this is the plant that I harvested the first cucumber off of. I think that didn't get pollinated, so I'm gonna get in here after I harvest, and I'm going to put her up on the fencing and not growing here. And again, some of the pollination issues may have been because just the weather, but some of it is probably because, you know, the leaves are just too big, and I have a lot of plants going here, and I would imagine that the pollinators are going to go to wherever they can get to the easiest. So like this, I want to open that up. That squash is down there. Here's another squash that didn't get pollinated, though again I have several on this vine that did get pollinated, so I'm not going to be sad. And again, I have about 8 more weeks of grow time, so I think I will get still great yields off of my plants. Here's another squash that I had missed, didn't see that was growing. I think that's the Cocozelle squash, so I'm gonna get her. This is another Patapan coming in. There's all kinds. There's a French melon in here somewhere. She smells so good. Actually, I think I may have put 2 of those plants in there. So yeah, have that. And some other squash in here. I'm gonna, when I get my gloves on, I'm gonna inspect every plant and make sure there's no fruit there that needs to be harvested, so I don't miss it. Like I did see down here, another white Patapan is ready down there, and more coming. So these are the summer squashes up in this area. I've shown you several times now the winter squash. Lots growing, but not quite time. Most of these are going to be on the vine until pretty close to frost time. Though I think these red curries, there's some that I put out early that are really short day. They don't, you know, they're like 60 day to maturity. So those will come off sooner. I pulled a lot of mint from here. There were some weeds growing in here. And I did uncover some more butternut squash. That's a different variety than the other one. I saw one over here too somewhere. Yeah, well, there's a couple little ones. There's a little one. I saw another little, even smaller one. And there's one that's a little bigger. So I'll check the varieties on those. And out here on this border again, this will be the next phase of cleanup. But I did see some more squash coming. And I think I saw my first, though I have to look down there and make sure I'm not missing anything. But I did see a Tromboncino here. Pretty sure, where was it? I was out here watering. The leaves move and then you see, oh, there it is. She's up there with the cucumber plant. So again, I'll scan that just to make sure that things are off the ground and growing up well. See, one of my first Oxheart varieties is growing nicely. It's one of my favorite tomatoes just because of the shape. It's so pretty. I grow a pink Oxheart that gets so big. Some fully ripened tomatoes. I'm gonna grab those. This squash is growing beautifully. This one here is the same variety. Looks like it didn't get pollinated, but they're more on the vines I saw. So I might do some hand pollination. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on them. I think that might be the beginning of a squash bug. I'm not sure. Grab this yellow squash down here. This is about the size, a little bit bigger that I like, before the seeds start developing. And I was over here planning to get some more mint and saw there was this big green zucchini down here that I had totally missed. So I'm gonna get that. You can see my pink Okinawan okra forming. Exciting. And then I saw several of these. Then I saw several of this variety of squash. squash that I'm gonna get as well. I saw 3. There might be more. There are a lot of little babies growing in there. The squash literally looks just like the, the stems of the leaves. So yeah, I missed those. But again, I'm in the routine now of coming out and doing daily harvest. So I'm doing some daily inspections as well. I also notice here lots of fruiting on these squash plants over here. And these raised beds, these are 2 different varieties. I know one is a banana squash. The other is similar to a banana squash, but a different name. I know the name is a Gete something. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I know this. I've grown both of these before. I've cooked both of these before. They are both delicious, and I am thrilled to see how many fruit are growing on them, because in previous years, I harvested maybe 2 from each. I did notice here, these patted pan are getting bigger from the other day. And you see earlier in the video, but not quite ready to harvest, but I'm excited about how this plant is looking as well. There are a couple cherry tomatoes there that are ripened that I'm gonna grab. And I can see the yellow patted pan squash needs to be harvested on a couple plants. There are more babies coming on this plant. This is the one. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest that. And I feel like there was a second one that I saw. She keeps jumping out of this raised bed. I have to stake her in there more. She will form fruit as it grows out, and I don't want to step on it and then sacrifice. See here, I don't want to accidentally step on them and then sacrifice your baby plants. Well, she's still a little. So maybe I'm just getting that one. Maybe. I'll do a deeper look tomorrow. I don't have a lot of time. So I'm gonna grab that one there. And the other things that I shared, I don't need any greens for dinner today. So yeah, this is just gonna be some squash, and then I will probably pull another couple onions, and yeah, then I'm gonna come back out and do a second round of the chocolate mint.
I just wanna go out and walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out and walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our 2 outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see. you. Could be 20 minutes or an hour or two. Baby, you know I just like to talk with you. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, you know I just like to talk.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. I was never the one to give up the ghost. No, I was so stuck. I kept on playing my part, wanting to give up 'cause nothing was changing. But with you it's so clear, and now that you're here I see colors in every spectrum. Guess I finally learned my lesson. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. Myself, and I'm thinking out loud, we won't need nothing else for the rest of our time. And I know it so well, I will always be by your side. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby. 'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.
Up in a painted cup, I will pour my love from a cloud above. So bright I can see the lights, taking you up and above the blue sky. Tastes good to be drinking all of the honey sweet brew of ours. Up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. Like a firefly. I believe to believe is to feel the fire grow within. I believe to believe is to see how the present comes from dreams. Up in a painted cup, I will paraglide across the sky. Let flowers and tiny hearts shaping a line in the cup of ours. So sweet like a honeybee can buzz around a honey tree. Up in a painted cup, right in the sky like a firefly. Like a firefly. I believe to believe is to feel the fire grow within. I believe to believe is to see how the present comes from dreams.
And so I'm gonna get inside and get this weighed, and then I'm going to be back out to get the mint, and I'll show you at the end all the mint that I harvested and preserved. Actually, friends, I'm back real quick. I was doing a quick watering of a couple squash plants because I saw a lot of fruit have formed on the outside of the fencing, and I noticed this little, yep, there's a squash there that I almost missed. So I've harvested one off of this plant so far. This is the early prolific straight neck squash. So this will be my second one off of here. So I'm gonna grab that, and then I'm actually gonna go ahead and wrap the video up. I'm gonna get that food in the house, and I'm gonna get back out here, get the mint on this side of this bed, and I'll share the mint harvest in my next video because I have to harvest a bunch of other herbs as well. So we'll do an herb harvest video next, all right? Take good care. Bye.